Hello everybody, I am the Wandering Bard, and this is, well, not a Cyber Gamer Ladder Dota 2 cast, but a Dota 2 cast of teams that I wish we could see encounter each other on the Cyber Gamer Ladder. This is a very special lineup of Team Tesla, featuring stand-in Werebear of Team Spider-Pig, against Team Trapmasters, who I haven't had the pleasure of casting before, but know by reputation, captained by the infamous Z-Muffin Man. As we wait for Lily to connect.
Radiant Team ban.
As we now look towards the bans and see Trapmasters with the first ban, removing the Batrider. Sort of very obvious ban. No comments. I mean, I expect really to see nothing new from this first little bit of the draft. It's pretty much been standardized at this point, and we're unlikely to see any changes until the next big balance patch. There have been recent nerfs announced to Keeper of the Light, as well as Nyx Assassin, but at least in my opinion they're not enough to remove the heroes from the lofty perch on which they sit in today's meta. And we do see the Nyx Assassin removed by Tesla. Tesla are labelled as mecha.tt in this case, so it's possible that they've been sponsored by Thermal Take, if I do recognise that capital casing correctly, but until I have confirmation of that, I haven't seen them playing under that name before, I'll refer to them as Tesla for today's match. But it is Sisu, Lily, Narcotic and Oranges with Werebear as stand-in, so it is the standard Tesla lineup that you may have seen in other casts that I've done. And we see Trapmasters actually removing the Gyrocopter, so a valid ban, a strong hero to remove, but perhaps an effort by Trapmasters to force some of the other high-tier heroes through. Coddle's still in the pool, but even if Tesla remove Coddle, they instead remove the Lone Druid, so the smart pick there obviously, choosing to, rather than ban Coddle out, leave him in the pool so that even if Trapmasters pick him up, there will still be, which they do, Mecha TT will now get in return two relatively high-tier heroes, likely to be one of Darkseer and Magnetor, and then possibly Rubik or Phantom Lancer, another preferred carry. They do pick up the Magnus, and they go for Disruptor instead, so a combo they run well and run often. That Magnus likely to be played by Narcotic, I feel. He plays an excellent Magnetor, often solo mid. We'll see what Trapmasters pick up, whether they go with the Queen of Pain or another counter to mid Magnetor. Instead, they grab the Darkseer and the Rubik, so two obvious pickups, very strong. Rubik even more powerful against the Magnus if you can get the right positioning, perhaps with a Blink Dagger, and Darkseer really just too good to pass up. The repositioning power of Vacuum, his laning versatility, and the utility of Surge with the late game teamfight winning power of the Wall. And we see wow, Tesla actually pick up the Wisp with the third pick, so obviously the right time to pick up the Wisp if you don't want to see it ban out, but it's possible the Wisp could have slipped through, and the problem with picking it up now is, unless they're intentionally baiting this out from Trapmasters, Z-Muffin Man has the opportunity to remove a lot of Wisp's favourite buddies. We might see Sven banned, see Chaos Knight banned, maybe even Tiny. I mean, the only other thing that Trapmasters would really be looking to remove is perhaps some solo heroes, whether mid or side solo. But I think they'll be happy just to ban out Wisp. Wisp combo heroes. They do remove the Bounty Hunter, so perhaps wary of some early aggressive play and that Bounty Hunter off lane. They know that Tesla prefer to run the Magnus mid, if the lane's favourite. So removing the offlane Bounty Hunter from the pool. So we now wait on Tesla. I still haven't really seen the hero for Werebear to solo up, whether he be on the safe lane or the off lane. It looks like he might be solo off lane here. I doubt there'll be an aggressive tri-lane with Disruptor and Wisp in it.
10 seconds
But
remaining.
we could still see some surprises out from this Tesla draft. And we see Tesla removing Lifestealer, and in return, Trapmasters do ban out the Sven. So just removing potent carries, strong laners in all lanes, and Sven's case particularly potent with the Wisp pickup. Sort of having its influence on the draft here. Unfortunately, having not really seen Trapmasters play, I'm can't really provide much insight into their favoured heroes right now, or even which player is likely to be matching up to which of the heroes I've already picked.
Remaining.
But if I had to guess at Tesla, I think we'll be seeing oranges on that Disruptor and Sisu taking the role of Wisp. Though I could be wrong. We yet see Lily or Werebear's heroes. As Tesla now eat into their extra time, really thinking about this ban. I mean, looking at what Trapmasters have already picked up, you'd think that they'd be looking to remove, unless they want to ban out the PL, who's not the other carry who really worries people right now, they actually remove the Silencer, so
team ban.
That's sort of a combination. I would have thought that their bans would be targeted either at sort of strong carries right now, or heroes who specifically counter Magnus, and Silencer almost falls under both categories. A global Silencer, especially potent against Magnus, as well as being wholly capable of destroying that hero in a solo lane, and having decent carry potential if Trapmasters wanted to play the hero that way, as well as being able to pick up a mech and 4-staff and sort of play second fiddle to your main farmer.
10 seconds.
The waiting game continues. Trapmasters now perhaps looking to use some of this extra time. Their last ban is going to be very important. Will it be the CK? I wonder. They've already removed the Sven. If they leave CK in the pool, there's still the very real possibility that Tesla could run the Wisp CK in mid, put Magnetor as an offlane solo against possibly a Darkseer, put him solo perhaps safe lane, sorry, against Darkseer, and then pick a strong dual lane for top, or even weirder setups. We shall yet see. As we see the puck ban from Trapmasters. Just trying to work out, I suppose it's just more removal of strong solo heroes. Puck either capable of going mid or off lane, perhaps just provides too much flexibility to the matchup. And then a very similar ban coming out from Tesla, removing Queen of Pain, often seen as a counterpick to mid Magnus. Very strong hero, and in my mind totally capable of winning mid against any of the popular mid picks, as well as being relatively strong against CK Wisp. But the important thing is that CK is not banned out, so Trapmasters inviting Tesla to pick up that combo if they want. I know that Lily likes to play the Chaos Knight, and that Tesla run that hero even without Wisp in the team. They actually pick up the Clockwork, so they're still they see that Trapmasters are not going to deny them the CK pick, and then if that is their intent, leave it even longer, instead snatching up the popular utility hero in Clockwork. So I feel we might be seeing a tri-lane clock here, if we see a tri-lane at all. It's been working wonders for a lot of professional teams.
10 seconds.
As Trapmasters now taking their time with this last pick, as you do.
Remaining.
They've already secured the Luna, so that's going to be their farming carry. And now we wait to see what their final hero will be. Likely to be their mid solo, possibly having to run up against either a Magnus or a Wisp +1 lane. I won't keep saying CK so it looks less awkward when I'm wrong. And they do secure the Night Stalker, so they've got a very potent early sort of mid-game. Around levels 6 to 10, this Trapmaster side is looking very powerful, with the Night Stalker dominant in the nighttime, Luna's Eclipse and Lucent Beam nukes, as well as early damage from her aura. Rubik being very potent once he gets Spell Steal, as well as strong early laning. Darkseer, lots of damage on those fights as well, and Keeper of the Light, possibly the strongest early game support.
10 seconds. 10 seconds remaining.
Or at least right up there with sort of Nyx and Dirge.
5 seconds remaining.
And we see Tiny for Tesla, so instead of going the Chaos Knight, they do choose for perhaps a little more AoE stunning power, looking with an eye to pick off those squishy supports in Rubik and Keeper of the Light early on in fights. But it will be the combo here with Wisp. I'm not sure whether we're seeing Tiny Wisp mid, though. Just without the repositioning power of Reality Rift, that combo lane is not quite as good at picking off solo heroes. So at this point, it may just be, well, Werebear taking up the role of a Clockwork certainly makes that look like we'll be seeing a solo Clockwork off-lane. More traditional, old-school role for that hero. And we're seeing Nycotic mid on the Magnus, with Situ, Oranges, and Lily tri-laning it up. So a little bit of pause here at the start of the game. I can't stream this game out live, obviously, so this will only be uploaded as a VOD. Sadly, my internet woes continue. But it looks like the other casting team, some sort of four-man conglomerate starring 752, will be featuring a stream. So perhaps check that one out if you're somehow listening to this in the past. And Muffin Man sharing some of my impatience to start this game. May as well run through the teams. We do see Muffin Man leading his team on the Rubik. Strong captain hero there. Playmaker, some would say. We see Glen Coco on the Keeper of the Light. Empirical taking the role of the Darkseer. Bunch of Chinese characters on the Luna. And El Tigre soloing mid on that Night Stalker. Well, for Tesla, as I predicted, we see Situ on the Wisp, Werebear standing in on the Clockwork, Lily playing that carry Tiny, Nycotic with the Magnus, and Oranges playing the Disruptor. And so we have streams coming out at Endless Winter 1 on Twitch TV. I have to go look that one up later. As it is, we just see the early rockets coming out from Werebear. More ye old-fashioned Clockwork play, revealing some of those lanes. As we see Muffin Man heading up towards top with the Luna. There's some lines being drawn on the map. Looks like we might see a level 1 incursion from Trapmasters, although Tigre and Empirical aren't looking to join them. So we might just be seeing some wards, and we will be seeing the tri-lane here with Coddle, Rubik, and Luna. Just sort of the obvious laning setup. Nothing wrong with that. And what I'm interested in is seeing what lane Werebear heads to and what lane Tesla send their tri-lane to. Obviously predicting that defensive tri-lane with the Wisp. It looks like that's what we will see with Sidu hanging around the top side of the map as he looks to place a ward. Although Lily is heading towards bot. So, Tesla,
And it's off!
I presume are just anticipating the aggressive tri-lane from Trapmasters, and I don't think they want to go up against that. So, with Werebear continuing to reveal the enemy position with that rocket flare, or at least guess at it, Tesla will be sending their somewhat vulnerable farming tri-lane bottom. Try and make sure that Lily gets the levels and items she needs to be a force through the mid and late game. So you can see Tiny, not the safest carry in lane, not the easiest to farm with. More of those Clockwork missiles flying out, not really finding anything.
The battle begins!
So we're going to let another one off. May be able to find Trapmasters in his jungle, knowing that they've warded, but I'm sure he anticipates that sort of thing anyway.
Such mimicry.
So we do see the tri-lanes each going up against a solo. Feel like Trap Masters are probably going to fare better, with Empirical most likely able to get more out of this lane in terms of farm, using the power of that Ion Shell. But it'll be interesting to see how much Werebear can support his team across the map with those rockets, how fast he can get levels up and start ganking, or at least locking down heroes in team fights. And whether he's able to stay alive on this lane. Just rocketing for some last hits early. We do see now both teams have warded the enemy pull camp. Not sure how much of an effect that'll have, but pretty standard stuff. Oranges roaming around now, already with that level 1 kinetic field, looking for a kill on Empirical, or at least some harassment. He's in a position. Oh, the tether from Wisp not quite landing initially. Oranges does get him stunned up though. They're just looking to harass here. Lots of attacks. Now they land this kinetic field. Lily runs in, throws the avalanche. Interesting decision by Lily to throw that avalanche early when Empirical was still trapped by the kinetic field, and the result is that they don't quite stack those movement restricting effects as well as they could have, and Empirical is able to surge and get away. So nearly a first blood for Tesla there. Empirical salves up, still in the lane. Meanwhile, we've already seen the rotation from the two supports, realizing that Luna, I can't really even hazard a guess at what Yellow's name means, so I'm just going to have to say Luna for the rest of the game, or Yellow. Seeing that their carry is going to be fine on top lane against a solo Clockwork, send Glen Coco and Muffin Man down to bot lane to try and stymie Lily's farm. As we see Oranges controlling the runes for Nicotic. Something to look at in the mid lane. We see Nightstalker taking the early lead on last hits, but not entirely locking down this Magnus. Nicotic has been able to get the fast bubble with just the triple Iron Branch start. And as long as he can continue to reach these runes for the next few minutes, he should be able to get the farm he needs out of this mid lane and have his core items up in time for team fights. So we see the ward battle already joined on the bottom lane. The pull camp ward still hasn't been dewarded yet by the Muffin Man. His ward's being blown up by Oranges. And Lily continues to farm, although outstripped by both Nightstalker and Luna at this point. It's not a huge lead. And if the game stays this way, I hesitate to say, but Tesla will be happy to maintain this status quo. Nicotic and El Tigre still going out in the mid lane, both low on mana, but Nicotic now popping a regen rune. So he'll have more shockwaves for minutes to come. And Werebear now, I mean, it is a trade-off as always. We see Luna already starting to get free farm and levels, but at the same time, she can't really stop, at least not yet, Werebear from picking up farm on his Clockwork. So it's not entirely bad for Tesla. This has turned into a solo versus solo for them. Certainly, a farmed Clockwork can do a lot more with his skill set than a sort of weak, squishy Clockwork. Well, we see some fierce denies coming out from Luna. Already 18 and 8 to Werebear's 11 and 1. So now action on the bottom lane. Sidu tethered up, spirits are going, looking for kills around the pull camp. They spot up the supports, but it looks like Glen Coco is going to be too far away and too close to his tower. And Sidu will just have to fall back. It's a Muffin Man doing some pulling in that mid lane. Looks like.
First blood!
And oh, we missed first blood actually. On the top lane, the Clockwork does go down. Oof. And it looks like we're about to see another kill in the mid lane, although we do see a somewhat tactical pause coming out. Nicotic on that Magnus. Slightly less HP, has 145 health to El Tigre's 247. But with Void having just been used, Skewer online, as well as a bottle with an Invis rune in it. Very interesting sort of pause. So, I mean, being asked to make some sort of call, I have to imagine that Nicotic will be able to land a Skewer here away from the tower. Just up into the wall around here. And while he's got while he's got Night Stalker stunned up by that skewer, or at least unable to fight, that'll be his time to perhaps get a quick bottle charge off and ensure he wins the ensuing fight and is able to even land a shockwave to chase him down. The only question here is the attack speed slow from Void might be able to protect him from a round of auto attacks against Magnus. Meanwhile, checking how much his paws vex the bot lane. Orange is perhaps slightly out of position. Armed with that level 1 kinetic field and glimpse, he should be safe from any surge approach from Empirical. Zermuff and Man still too far out of position, playing around with those creeps to, well, not really out of position, but too far away to help contribute. So we actually see El Tigre disconnect from the game entirely. Probably rebooting his internet, wants to make sure he has all his faculties about him. He does have a magic wand, so if I want to really microanalyze this, he'll be able to get potentially another Void off if he can somehow live for 8 seconds. But I have a feeling this fight will be over long before that. It's just I really hope we don't see a Narcotic turn around and just anticlimactically disengage. But it's also possible. It'd be... I feel like he can win this fight, but still, the trade-off, if he dies to Night Stalker here, giving away level 6, possibly even losing up on that rune, before he has a chance to really make use of it. That would be pretty, not dire blow, but significant setback for Narcotic, who's already down in the farm. I mean, if we just look at the gold grass, we do see a significant early golden experience lead, just in terms of farm, going the way of Trap Masters, as well as that first blood. And we do see Narcotic just use the invisibility rune and disengage. Bottling up, doesn't want to go. Anyway, the game will continue. See Werebear heading back to this lane, now armed with a bottle of his own. Level 3 in that rocket, just one in the barrage and cogs. Standing wary around Luna. Having already given away first blood, he can't really afford to lose much more on this top lane, or his team can't afford to give much more to Luna. I'm sure that Clockwork could withstand another death or two. Werebear is a veteran of the long lane solo. Certainly not the first time he's had to deal with a difficult situation such as this. And I mean, I say difficult situation, but in the annals of long lane history, this is certainly not the hardest lane anyone's had to manage. He's still picking up farm, 15 and 1. That rocket flare helping out immensely. So we're seeing engagement here in the mid lane. Narcotic getting voided up. He has the reverse polarity now though, so El Tigre just backs off. We want to continue to harass with the void. Now has a bottle on I'm going to assume it was on the Crow before. And we see him now going in off the back of that first void. Narcotic trying to bait him in back towards the tower, waiting on his own bottle to come back. It's that current bottle Crow meta. Has a couple of charges on the magic wand, but it's not enough mana right now to land reverse polarity. So he really has to hope Tigre doesn't dive in this second, but it looks like the courier will get there in time. As we see, Clockwork again dying on the top lane while I watch them. Let's race the rune here. There's a regen. Narcotic should have the advantage with Skewer, but no, El Tigre just silences him. Picking up that rune, further extending his dominance here in the middle lane. Narcotic, though, is still only 5 creeps behind. He's even caught up a little bit since that pause. So, good news for Tesla there. Meanwhile, on the bot lane, we see Tiny, 19 for 9. The rotation by Trapmaster's working out as we see Luna with double his farm. Just the restrictive nature of the tri-lane. Night Stalker firing off that regen. If I look at Narcotic, continuing to run that bottle as fast as he can, keeping himself in this. Just as long as he keeps doing that, he's going to be able to get the creeps he needs with the skewer. El Tigre can only do so much to harass him. Well, as long as Narcotic has reverse polarity up, or at least has the threat of a reverse polarity up, it's going to be really hard for Night Stalker to confidently dive him under tower. And without really committing to a dive like that, there's no way he's going to push Narcotic out of the lane. So, mid looks like it'll continue in the status quo for some time. Meanwhile, we see Tesla just farming at their tower. Thought Sidu might have been moving around the Ancients to try and stack them, but we haven't seen any activity of that sort yet. Most of the creative jungling being done by the Muffin Man, who actually had some creative stuff there, picking up the Hellbear with telekinesis, and then using it to lead the bottom creep wave all the way back around. Some pretty next level stuff right here. This must have been what he was doing before. I mean, I'm without removing credit from the Muffin Man, I'm certain this is not the first time this has ever been done, but first time I've ever seen it on one of my streams, so perhaps just showing my my lack of experience here, as we see Muffin Man just continue to lead this creep wave on a merry dance all the way through the neutrals, picking up such farm as he needs and helping to control that lane for Tesla. I wonder if Tesla realised what's been going on with the Muffin Man, his long absence from this lane, as well as the creep's long absence. And we see perhaps Luna going it. No, not going in again on top. Just the positioning. Having already missed 2 kills on the top lane, I'm anxious to make sure I watch any further action here, and we might see some action now, as we finally see Narcotic teleport top. He has a haste rune on deck, he has reverse polarity. It surely must be burning a hole in his spell bar to not have even cast that yet. He's had it for several minutes. Now he looks to go in, he skewers in. Oh, a little bit of miscommunication there, surely. Clockwork perhaps going a little later. Looks like they'll still get the kill on Luna. Running her down with the rocket flare and the battery assault, but interesting play there. Magnus went for the skewer at the same time as Werebear went for the hook shot, and the hook shot was just a little bit late in arriving, so I don't know whether we can put that down to miscommunication or perhaps a little bit of latency on Werebear's part. He is a stand-in, so you know there's always that risk. I mean, it's not like it was a bad plan even to just skewer in or just to hook shot in. And it certainly didn't stop them getting the kill, but this is a little odd to see the hook shot flying out to what would have been a direct hit a moment ago. Anyway, Luna brought down the top lane, so an important kill for Tesla. Both Luna and Nightstalker flying high on 51 CS, Luna with 21 denies on top of that, so they really needed to curtail her income. If we take a brief look at the gold per minute, she's still right out in front with 375 GPM, Nightstalker on 328, and then Daylight to the highest farm Tesla hero, which is Magnus on 292. I suppose this is a really genius thing about the rotation of Trapmasters at the start of the game. The heroes there on the bottom lane in Darkseer, Rubik and Cole do not really need farm. In a lane where no one is really getting anything, they're losing the least from that lane. They're 2 heroes they need farm on, and Nightstalker, their Luna, picking up all the CS they need. It's good for Magnetor to have farm, and certainly it doesn't hurt Clockwork to have items. He might be able to buy the mech for his team if he can get a little bit more. But even without the farm deficit both those heroes are at and sort of losing the creep count in their lane, it hurts Tesla more to have Lily not picking up farm on that tiny than it does for you know, disposable supports like Coddle or Rubik to be going without. As we see Tiny even now migrating to the top lane to try and put some more pressure on this Luna. And we just see Trapmaster teleporting the heroes in top. Looks like we might be seeing an engagement soon. El Tigre running in. Gonna land the Void, or at least the silence on Lily. Now the Void comes in. Lily looking to be in a lot of trouble. Usidu can't do much to save her. The kinetic field goes down, but it's not going to stop the Nightstalker. Now Narcotic is here. He lands a 2-man reverse polarity. Gets picked up before he can skewer. In fact, skewers on cooldown. Now he punches Luna into the trees. Looking for some damage there, but El Tigre hitting so hard. He gets brought down. Double killing spree for El Tigre on that Nightstalker. Jukes away from the kinetic field. It looks like we won't be able to get oranges. Happy to just sit there. Cuddle Wave pushing up to the tower, and El Tigre bottling up to now resume the chase. Oranges falling back as fast as he can. He's getting caught up here. Darkseer throws a weird sort of vacuum. I'm not sure. I think I might be getting a little bit of visual lag there. A lot of things in that fight just seemed a little bit off.
Bucko. Dire's top tower has fallen. Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack. Oh, cover your eyes! Dire's bottom tower is taking a drubbing.
Not fairly.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Dominating!
If you were Dire's bottom tower, you would have fallen just. Time is running out for Dire's middle tower. Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower is under attack. The Dire's poor top tower. Can its end be drawing nigh?
Look out, the golden rocks! Killing spree! Double kill!
Die with honor. Well,
Time is running out for Dire's middle tower. Dire's structures are fortified.
Bastards!
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower has fallen. Dire's middle tower is under attack. Time is running out for Dire's middle tower.
Such mimicry!
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Oh, cover your eyes! Dire's bottom tower is taking a drubbing. Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Spree!
Dire's
Double
bottom
kill!
tower has fallen. Is that whining I hear? Dire's top tower is under attack.
Boom! There it goes!
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under
In
attack.
your face! Drag it on!
Nothing to your
I keep my enemies close, and their corpses closer.
fear quiets magic.
With flair.
Dominating!
Clogged my works.
Don't worry, your is benighted. Killing spree!
Would like to this?
You're wasting talent.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower has fallen. Don't shoot the messenger! Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's top tower has fallen. Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Thank you.
Rock it on!
Dominating! Mega kill! Killing spree! Mega kill! Double kill!
Oh, cover your eyes! Dire's bottom tower is taking a drubbing. Dire's bottom barracks are under attack. Someone had better see to that before it gets worse. Dire's bottom barracks have fallen. Well, what do you know? Dire's bottom barracks are under attack. Dire's middle tower is under attack. Sometimes I find myself saying, for no reason at all, Dire's middle tower has fallen. Oh, wait, there's a good reason. Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Dire's middle barracks are under it. Dire's middle barracks have fallen. The Dire just can't resist. Dire's middle barracks have fallen. Time is running out for Dire's middle tower. Radiant must summon the spirit to defend their top tower.
Unstoppable! Axis monster kill! Triple!
Dire's middle
Holy
tower
shit!
is under attack.
Rampage!
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Time is running out for Dire's middle tower. Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower has fallen.